generational family farming business, and just in the last sort of few years, sort of diversified more from what we were already doing with the pick your own fruit. So Tibbs Farm, sort of a bit of an umbrella, sort of as a brand for the entirety. So then, as we look to build the business, evolve the business, sort of feeding in the different enterprises of the farm under the Tibbs umbrella, and it's an ongoing thing. We're still very much finding what works and trying different things.
Yeah. And so when did you guys come back to the farm yourself then? So Simon, you came back first, eh?
Yeah, I came back probably after New Zealand about 2017.
Okay.
Around then, and then sort of mainly spent most of my time on the farming side of things.
Yeah.
So sheep, hops.
Yeah. And you were sort of drawn back to kind of carry on that sort of tradition of farming and get involved and see what.
I guess being the eldest, there was sort of an opening. The father's getting older, so he probably wants a hand. So there's already quite an opening on that side, the agricultural side. So I sort of had that opening, but I think we always sort of had a plan. We had an existing pick your own, so it was the natural progression was to try and sort of grow that side of the business. So hence the sort of cafe, farm shop side. Yeah.
When did that open, the cafe?
28th of July 2020.
Okay.
Just like during COVID.
Okay.
Yeah, terrible time to open.
And is that when you started? You kind of
I came back beginning of 2020. Yeah.
And so your focus is more the cafe and these sort of like events?
Yeah, so me coming back was sort of a case of I was a chartered surveyor before, and it was sort of to come back. It was a sort of a bit more of creating a role for myself, and we were already going down this route, and we've just gone down that route more and more, and we keep doing different things. So I find myself he sort of farming the livestock and hops and whatnot, and I'm doing the farming of the people.
Okay, great. So Simon, talk to me about some of the challenges you're facing, I guess, from the farming side of things here.
I'll tell you, in the last 10 years, the weather's been a bit of a real pain.
Yeah.
Very wet winters and very dry summers. It's caused a lot of problems with our fruit. We've got new diseases, SWD, Phytophthora, being two things that probably 10 years ago we didn't know existed. And then just these droughts are causing quite a bit of distress to the farming side. That's difficult, but it's just markets are so volatile as well. So it's a very good thing that we've sort of diversified.
Yeah. And how are you adapting, I guess, on the farming side of things? Are you having to like de-stock a little bit, or just change your practices?
I have de-stocked a bit. Then there's, I think we're going to put in sort of reservoirs and things for water storage. I think that's a big thing we're going to have to do. On the livestock front, de-stocking, trying to get rid of things, stock at certain times of the year, so you're not carrying it through those sort of dry summers. Is probably another thing that's needs probably more looking into. But I really don't know. If you've had such a long spell and such high temperatures, I think de-stocking is probably the only way to go on that front.
And on the hop front, I mean, it's sort of like you were sort of saying about, it comes down to like, I guess, what's the yield looking like, and can you find a contract for the hops?
Yeah, it's been difficult then since COVID. You found that people have sort of, they haven't been to pubs, sort of that break away from pubs has sort of changed consumer tastes. So they've moved away from real ale, which most of our hops would probably go into, And at the same time, there's been a massive oversupply of hops, and people are choosing not to drink beer. So it's a sort of a combination of events which makes it a far more difficult market than it was 6-7 years ago.
Yeah. But it sounds like you guys have you obviously started your, is it Hop Fest? Is that right? Is that's a kind of
Yes.
a kind of combination of the farming side and the
Yeah,
events stuff?
yeah. That's a good example of trying to integrate the farming enterprise under this sort of Tibbs Farm brand. So it's the end of hop picking, so the third weekend of September, and it's just a sort of celebration of the annual harvest. And so this year, I think 336th family annual harvest, something like that. So it's just an excuse to sort of make a bit of a sort of party about it. Yeah.
Great. And so every year, so on this farm, you've obviously, the cafe every year's got busier and you've just sort of added more,
Yeah.
more things.
Yeah. We keep trying different things, and it's very much a sort of still learning, evolving, and seeing what works and what doesn't work. And then with the cafe, it allows us to do these ancillary events which we wouldn't have before. So pumpkins and Easter, and then sort of private function things and sort of evening do's. Yeah.
You're finding there's quite a good appetite for that locally, I guess.
Yeah, if you get the right offering, if it's framed right, and if it's the right sort of proposition. So some things haven't worked, so some things don't resonate or haven't quite been right, and so then you tweak them, and so we keep trying different things and see sort of what has legs, and then we sort of put more sort of work into that, and sort of learning very much sort of organic sort of evolution. Is nothing's sort of overly forced, let's say.
Yeah. And in terms of so social media, that's quite a big way of I guess finding people, kind of building that community around Tibbs Farm.
Yeah. Social media has been really important for us. We're a destination, so people coming here are coming here to come here. We're not relying on passing trade necessarily, and we're selling an experience with a lot of things we do, including the cafe, of it being a destination. It's good food, it's sort of sourcing and bringing in food from the farm, and then these other sort of enterprises we do, it's very much an experience, a family experiences in a lot of cases. That's sort of, social media has been very important for all of that, trying to tie it together and sort of show people what's going on, what we're doing.
Yeah, I imagine the pick your own is probably quite popular with families, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I guess it's been challenging because of the weather.
Yeah, our offering has, due to the weather and the climate, has diminished. I think 15 years ago we could grow lots of fruit, we couldn't struggle to sell it. We didn't have the sort of marketing avenues, but now we've got the literally turned 180, and we can't
Get the people, can't grow the fruit.
Can't quite grow the fruit, so we're going to have to pretty much go all pots, tabletops, sort of more artificial, just doing things in the ground. Really not working very well at the moment.
And I guess, like you say, building a reservoir, that gives you the resilience, hopefully, to continue to
absolutely
keep those plants alive, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
during these heat waves.
Yeah. I mean, we're getting on for probably 6 weeks with no rain, and couple of weeks over 30 maybe. So yeah, pretty difficult for a plant to survive that.
But the good weather, I suppose, on the flip side,
yes.
You're getting a lot of people through the cafe, and they're willing to kind of come out because it's summer vibes. Right?
Yeah. So it's not all doom and gloom on that front. This side is going well, and just trying to adapt and sort of build that resilience into the farming side as well.
Yeah. And I imagine that it must be great the farming feast, and you know, with the view, you've got like, you know, it's kind of like a vineyard. You're sort of doing that like agritourism sort
Yeah,
of
yeah, it's a
thing.
good word. Yeah.
But yeah, I guess, and there is I think there's a lot of people that want to kind of be out on farms and that sort of stuff, isn't there? So.
Yeah, yeah. It's education as well. Like we are a commercial farm at the end of the day, and so we have pigs, and people can go see the pigs, feed the pigs, and then it's very much you can go and eat the pigs.
Yeah.
So that's important for us. We're not a sort of farm park. There is a sort of that side of it, which is important to sort of show, and that's important of like who we are, what Tibbs is as a brand.
And in terms of the split now, would you say is it like 50-50 in terms of the farming and diversification, or what, you know, if you had to draw a pie chart?
Depends on the year.
In revenue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would depend on the year, but it's getting more and more that way inclined, I think. Yeah.
So skewing more to diversification.
Yeah, and it's easier to grow a hospitality business. Like sheep, you can only have so many sheep to support the acreage you have, and hops is you can have a bigger yield, whether or not you can sell them. So there's sort of more opportunity in ways to grow the hospitality, the sort of the diversification side. But at the same time, if this grows, that grows.
Yeah.
So there is that.
I think you can be a little more dynamic with the hospitality side potentially. Hops, to get a full, you stick them in the ground. It takes 3 years to get a full crop from them. Mm-hmm. It's quite a lot of planning. 3 years. You've got to know you've got someone who wants them, and put it in the ground. You've got to have quite a bit of infrastructure that goes into it.
Yeah.
So once you sort of go into it, it's just a bit of a risk going back. 3 years, then you get your crop, and then you can find after those 5 years' time, no one wants it. Which is so. I think I'm not with this. You can just be a little bit like that hasn't worked. We change it, and it's maybe not quite so. And you can just tweak things a little bit more. And it's the direct selling helps massively.
What's been the kind of biggest success in terms of stuff, you know, that you've tried here? You're like, I guess, is it like Hop Fest or those sort of
just events probably?
Yeah, and I think quite a few things we've sort of proven sort of foundations to then build on them. So, and that's sort of ongoing really. So I think Hopfest has legs to be quite an exciting sort of big event in the calendar for us. And then pumpkin sort of. You've got to frame it right, or you've got to get the right sort of thing. It's not pick your own pumpkin, just a pumpkin on the ground. You've got to sell an experience. So I think last year we sort of saw that sort of come to fruition a bit more. So this year it's just we've got the foundations to build on. Our Easter duck hunt goes from strength to strength. Yeah.
And so on the farming side, you've got Sussex cattle. Sussex cattle, they're relatively new enterprise.
Yeah, I've probably had them 3 years. I've had 2 calvings from them. They are like cattle, yeah, different to a sheep, which is they're trying to do them at sort of a low cost, so they're sort of inside from January till probably mid-March, April, and then we sort of winter them on the banks. And then there's sheep, a few chickens.
And sheep, are they Romney or?
Romney, and then we sort of produce our own replacements, and so do a few crossbreds, cross them with a Texan or something. Yeah.
And lamb in April.
Lamb in mid-March and April, two separate lambings.
Good. I suppose, you know, running this kind of like, you know, is a community. You must have kind of, in a way, is that you kind of got to know a lot more people through.
Yeah, massively.
Yeah.
And actually that's a really big sort of part, I think, just sort of building relationships with people, customers, but then also suppliers and just sort of other people. I think that's really, really important. And I mean, to tie it back to the farm as well, it's something like with the hops, we certainly one brewery, they now sort of promote that they're using our hops on the beer can, and since the cafe and sort of hop fest, we now sort of have much closer relationships with some of the sort of key Harveys. We've always sold at Harveys, but now we have a sort of a closer tie in that they do a green hop beer for our festival, a Longman in Wilmington Way, and Brewing Brothers. So it's sort of tying in that. So I think that's relationships is so important. Talking.
And actually, and I guess building that brand as well, because the bigger your brand becomes, the more people want to work with you, and the more visibility and the more opportunity, I guess, you've got to create your own product.
Yeah.
So do you do like your own apple juice?
Yeah.
Apple juices.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Sort of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So our cousins actually grow the apples, but they're sort of just over there. But it's just another product that is sort of come from the family farm, and something else to sort of say we do this, and so that sort of all goes through the cafe. And there's one or two places which buy at wholesale as well.
And last question, what makes you hopeful about the future in kind of farming, or this, running this kind of like diversified business?
I think there is the public do want to be a bit closer to the sort of products and understand what farmers are doing. I think there is a genuine curiosity, and they will support. I think they, on the whole, they're pretty supportive. So that's a very good thing. Further to that, Phil.
I think just the hopeful side is just sort of seeing this sort of come together more and sort of grow, and then bringing in the farming, all these different enterprises in more, to make a sort of more cohesive, more resilient business as a whole, so that if we have these continued droughts and something doesn't work out so well, hops or whatever it might be, it's sort of as a whole the business is just more resilient. And I think we're sort of seeing that, so that makes me hopeful. It's just, it can be a pretty hard slog at times, and depths of winter, and when multiple things don't necessarily go to plan or don't go quite right, it's plenty of setbacks. It's bloody hard work, but I think that's what I find sort of optimistic and sort of hopeful as we sort of continue going down this sort of route of selling an experience, selling sort of the hospitality side, all underpinned as at the core by the fact that we are a genuine sort of farming family.